The Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, New York, USA, *. The film begins before sunrise. When Manhattan is still draped in a deep, velvety twilight, the streets are quiet, yet alive with a subtle hum, the distant rumble of early subway trains, the faint hiss of tires on asphalt, and the occasional clatter of a delivery cart weaving through side streets. The city feels suspended in a moment of calm, a brief pause before the relentless energy of New York awakens. Slowly, the first golden rays of sunlight begin to pierce the horizon, brushing the glass and steel of skyscrapers with a soft, amber glow. The camera sweeps across towering facades, capturing reflections of neighboring buildings that ripple like liquid metal. Shadows stretch long over avenues and side streets, and the occasional silhouette of an early jogger or a lone cyclist adds life to the otherwise still scene. As the light strengthens, the camera glides gently toward 53rd Street, where the Museum of Modern Art rises with quiet elegance. Its sleek glass exterior catches the morning light, shimmering like a beacon of creativity in the urban landscape. From this angle, the museum is both a part of the city and a sanctuary from it, a place where time slows, and ideas take shape and color, form, and motion. A street-level view shows the slow trickle of early visitors, some pausing to admire the facade, others capturing the moment on their cameras or phones. The museum's iconic banners ripple in the soft morning breeze, each announcing the promise of artistic discovery that awaits within. The glass doors reflect the awakening street, blending the energy of the city with the serenity of the museum's interior. The soundscape enhances the visual narrative. Distant car horns and subway echoes gradually mix with the subtle hum of air and footsteps on the sidewalk. A gentle orchestral score swells, mirroring the rising sun as it paints the streets, the facades, and the museum itself in hues of gold and rose. The camera then glides slowly upward, revealing a panoramic view of Midtown Manhattan bathed in early light. The Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building emerge like sentinels, while below, the streets are coming alive with vendors, pedestrians, and the faint clatter of city life resuming. Yet, amidst this energy, MoMA stands as a calm, inviting presence, a gateway to worlds of imagination, color, and history. Finally, the shot transitions closer to the museum entrance. The glass doors reflect the first rays of sun, the urban rhythm, and the promise of artistic exploration. As the camera lingers, the sense of anticipation builds. The viewer knows that inside these walls, masterpieces await, each one offering a journey into human creativity, emotion, and innovation. The morning light shifts gently across the facade, signaling the start of a day where art and life intersect in New York, City's beating heart. As the camera moves through the museum's entrance, the story of MoMA's remarkable legacy begins to unfold. The screen fills with archival images of the late 1920s, black and white photographs of New York streets, elegant early visitors, and a city on the cusp of transformation. The narrator, or text overlay, sets the stage. MoMA was founded in 1929 by Abby Aldrich Rockefeller, along with Lily P. Bliss and Mary Quinn Sullivan, a visionary trio determined to create a space dedicated entirely to modern art. Footage shifts to the early exhibitions, walls lined with bold, unfamiliar paintings and sculptures that challenge traditional tastes. There's a sense of daring. The museum's founders were not content to preserve history. They wanted to create it. Close-ups show the brushstrokes of Van Gogh, the geometric abstraction of Mondrian, and the provocative figures of Picasso. Each frame illustrates the museum's mission to celebrate artists who question, innovate, and redefine the boundaries of creativity. The camera pans over vintage letters, sketches, and design plans, giving viewers a sense of the painstaking effort behind establishing a modern art institution in a city steeped in classical tradition. Interspersed are clips of bustling New York streets, linking the museum's bold vision to the vibrancy and restlessness of the city. Itself a city always ready to embrace the new and the unexpected. The section also highlights MoMA's role in shaping cultural taste globally. Footage of international exhibitions, traveling shows, and collaborations with artists around the world shows how this New York institution has influenced generations of creators, curators, and collectors. As the music swells, the camera moves through the museum's early galleries in a slow, cinematic sweep. Each painting and sculpture is framed not just as art, but as part of a revolutionary movement that transformed the way humanity sees, feels, and interprets the world. The narration emphasizes MoMA's enduring spirit. It is not merely a repository of objects, but a living testament to innovation, curiosity, and the relentless pursuit of artistic expression. The segment closes with a gentle pullback from a gallery view to the museum's exterior. Sunlight now fully illuminates the glass facade, reflecting the city's energy. The visual message is clear. MoMA is both a product of its time and a timeless space, a beacon of modernity and creativity that continues to inspire every visitor who steps inside. The camera glides toward MoMA's entrance, where the glass doors reflect the bustling streets of Midtown Manhattan. As they slowly open, viewers are immediately drawn into a world where space, light, and design work in perfect harmony to highlight the artworks within. The transition from city chaos to contemplative calm is almost palpable. The sounds of traffic fade, replaced by the subtle hum of footsteps, soft echoes, and hushed conversations. Inside, the architecture itself becomes part of the story. White walls stretch elegantly, serving as blank canvases for masterpieces. Polished floors reflect overhead skylights, allowing natural light to cascade gently across the galleries. Each element, from the clean lines to the open spaces, is intentionally designed to create a rhythm that guides visitors through the museum, framing art in ways that enhance both perception and emotion. The camera drifts past soaring ceilings, wide corridors, and minimalistic staircases, capturing the interplay of light and shadow. Subtle architectural details reveal themselves: floating balconies, glass partitions, and polished steel railings that complement, rather than compete with, the artwork. Wide shots show visitors pausing, looking, sketching, and photographing, a quiet choreography of engagement that echoes the museum's mission to make art accessible and immersive. Focus shifts to the first gallery, where paintings and sculptures are displayed with meticulous care. Spotlights subtly highlight textures, brushstrokes, and sculptural forms, emphasizing both scale and intimacy. The camera lingers on a corner where modernist sculptures catch sunlight through a high window, their shadows dancing softly across the floor, a visual reminder that MoMA is as much about the space as the objects it houses. Audio layers enhance the experience. The soft swish of footsteps on marble, distant echoes of conversations in multiple languages, and a gentle ambient score that rises and falls with the camera's movements. The effect is meditative, inviting viewers to slow down and truly see the art, architecture, and atmosphere unfolding before them. A slow pan reveals the contrast between open gallery spaces and smaller, intimate rooms, each designed to evoke a specific emotional response. The interplay of wide, airy halls and cozy nooks allows visitors to experience both the grandeur and the personal intimacy of modern art. Every corner, every corridor, every staircase feels purposeful, guiding the eye, inviting reflection, and heightening anticipation for the masterpieces waiting ahead. The section closes with a wide, cinematic shot from the upper level. Galleries stretch below. Visitors move like currents through the space, and sunlight continues to illuminate the museum in a dynamic interplay of architecture, light, and art. The message is clear. Stepping inside MoMA is not just entering a building. It's entering an immersive world where creativity, design, and human expression converge. The camera glides into the heart of MoMA, where the walls are adorned with some of the most transformative works in art history. Each gallery tells a story of innovation, rebellion, and brilliance, the story of modernism itself. We begin with Vincent van Gogh's The Starry Night. The camera slowly approaches the painting, capturing the swirling blues, luminous yellows, and the textured brushstrokes that give the sky a sense of motion and emotion. The narration or text overlay highlights Van Gogh's struggle and vision, how he transformed personal turmoil into breathtaking beauty, and how this work continues to captivate viewers almost 150 years later. Subtle sound effects, a soft wind, distant night sounds, immerse viewers in the nocturnal scene, making the painting feel alive. Next, the lens moves to Pablo Picasso's Les Demoiselles, a work that shattered conventions and redefined the human form. The camera lingers on the angular figures, the fractured perspectives, and the daring abstraction. Narration explains how Picasso challenged tradition, pushing viewers to reconsider what art could be and how reality could be represented. The gallery lighting emphasizes every plane and shadow, giving the viewer a sense of walking among the figures themselves. The journey continues to include masterpieces by Henri Matisse, Vasily Kandinsky, and Piet Mondrian. Each work is introduced with context, Matisse's bold colors and expressive shapes, Kandinsky's vibrant abstractions echoing music and emotion, Mondrian's geometric purity transforming simplicity into transcendence. The camera alternates between sweeping wide shots and close-ups, capturing the textures, color juxtapositions, and meticulous details that make each piece a world unto itself. Sculpture is not forgotten. The camera drifts past modernist sculptures, from Brancusi's sleek, elegant forms to Alberto Giacometti's elongated, haunting figures. As light and shadow play across the surfaces, viewers sense movement and tension, understanding that modernism is as much about ideas as it is about form. Interspersed are glimpses of visitors reacting to the art, contemplative stares, whispered conversations, and the quiet gesture of sketching or photographing. This human element emphasizes the timeless dialogue between artist and observer, showing how MoMA fosters not just appreciation, but a deep, personal connection with creativity. The section concludes with a panoramic shot across a gallery, sunlight streaming in from above, illuminating paintings and sculptures alike. The narration reflects, these masters of modernism didn't merely create art, they reshaped perception, challenged assumptions, and opened the door to endless possibilities. Stepping through these galleries, one feels the weight and exhilaration of history, as well as the vibrant pulse of ongoing creativity that defines MoMA today. The camera moves deeper into MoMA, transitioning from the historical halls of modernism into galleries alive with contemporary voices. Here, art is not only seen, it is felt, questioned, and experienced in ways that challenge the viewer's perception of reality. The first shot focuses on an immersive installation by Yo-Yo. Infinity mirrors stretch into endless reflections of lights, colors, and patterns. The camera slowly pans through the space, capturing both the dazzling spectacle and the intimate reactions of visitors stepping inside. The narration highlights Kusama's vision, a meditation on infinity, obsession, and the human desire to find one's place in the universe. Soft, ethereal music accompanies the visuals, enhancing the otherworldly atmosphere. Next, we encounter Cindy Sherman's conceptual photography. The camera zooms in on her provocative self-portraits, each one a story that questions identity, gender, and societal norms. The gallery feels almost alive with tension. The faces in the photographs seem to look back at the viewer, sparking introspection and conversation. Subtle lighting enhances the depth and emotion captured in each frame. Jean-Michel Basquiat's work introduces a different energy. The camera sweeps across his bold graffiti-infused canvases, where words, symbols, and vibrant colors collide. Narration explains Basquiat's raw commentary on race, class, and urban life, emphasizing the urgency and vitality that continues to resonate decades later. Visitors move slowly, drawn into the complexity of layers, lines, and emotions embedded in every brushstroke and mark. The segment also highlights experimental multimedia art. Projection-based installations fill entire rooms with moving imagery and soundscapes. Interactive digital displays invite visitors to engage with art through touch, motion, and voice. The camera captures participants interacting with these works. Their movements, gestures, and expressions become part of the art itself, blurring the line between observer and creator. Throughout this section, sound design plays a critical role. A mix of electronic tones, whispered voices, and urban ambient sounds creates an immersive audio environment, mirroring the dynamic, sometimes chaotic, energy of contemporary life. Every corner of the gallery seems alive, pulsating with ideas, commentary, and emotion. The segment closes with a wide cinematic shot across the contemporary galleries. Visitors move through rooms filled with color, sound, and form, creating a living tapestry of engagement. The narration reflects MoMA's contemporary art galleries are not merely exhibitions, they are conversations, challenges, and celebrations. They remind viewers that art is alive, evolving, and deeply intertwined with the world we inhabit today. As the camera moves through MoMA, it transitions from traditional galleries into spaces celebrating human ingenuity in design, architecture, and multimedia. Here, art extends beyond painting and sculpture. It embraces objects, structures, and experiences that have shaped modern life. The first focus is on architecture. Scale models of iconic buildings fill illuminated display cases, from Frank Lloyd Wright's elegant plans to contemporary experimental structures. The camera glides past each model, capturing the meticulous detail: tiny windows, intricate facades, and daring forms that challenge gravity and imagination alike. Narration emphasizes how MoMA has preserved these designs as a record of humanity's ability to transform space, blending function, form, and vision. Next, the lens moves to industrial and product design. Sleek mid-century furniture, avant-garde household objects, and innovative appliances are arranged with a balance of precision and artistry. The camera lingers on the smooth curves of a molded chair, the polished surface of a futuristic lamp, and the ingenious simplicity of everyday objects elevated to works of art. Visitors pause, sit, and interact, reminding viewers that design is not just to be admired, it is to be lived, used. An experienced photography and film takes center stage in the next gallery. The camera pans across black and white photo essays, candid street scenes, and experimental moving images. Multimedia screens display video art and installations, immersing the audience in sound, motion, and narrative. Visitors move between screens, their reflections mirrored in the glass, merging them visually into the artwork itself. The narration highlights how MoMA has been a pioneer in preserving and showcasing time-based media, documenting the evolving ways humans communicate visually. Sound design here is particularly immersive. The gentle hum of projectors, subtle mechanical clicks, and layered ambient soundscapes echoed through the galleries, reinforcing the sense of exploration and curiosity. Each object, photo, or installation tells a story, some historical, some futuristic, but all reflect the human drive to innovate and imagine. The segment concludes with a sweeping panoramic shot of the combined design, architecture, and multimedia spaces. Visitors move seamlessly between areas, experiencing a harmony of form, function, and creativity. Narration ties it all together. MoMA's commitment to design and multimedia art demonstrates that creativity is not confined to canvas or clay. It shapes the world we inhabit, inspires our daily lives, and continues to push boundaries in how we experience the modern world. Stepping outside, the camera reveals MoMA's sculpture garden, a serene oasis amid the bustling streets of Midtown Manhattan. The transition from the museum's sleek interior to the open-air garden is seamless. Yet the contrast is striking. Here, nature, sunlight, and sculpture coexist in a harmonious dialogue. The morning sun glimmers across the garden's winding pathways, casting playful shadows on the carefully manicured lawns. Trees sway gently in the breeze, their leaves whispering softly, and visitors stroll along gravel paths, pausing to admire the artworks that punctuate the greenery. The soundscape blends the distant hum of the city with birdsong, soft footsteps, and the faint rustle of leaves, creating an atmosphere of quiet contemplation. The camera drifts past iconic sculptures by Henry Moore, Alexander Calder, and other modern masters. Moore's smooth, abstract forms contrast beautifully with Calder's kinetic mobiles, which dance with motion in the wind. Close-ups reveal textures, curves, and shadows, emphasizing the tactile beauty and monumental scale of these works. A slow, rotating drone shot captures the interplay of sculpture, sunlight, and the skyline beyond, showing how the garden frames art within the context of the city itself. Visitors interact with the space. Naturally, some sit on benches sketching or journaling. Others pause to photograph the pieces, while children explore the paths with curious eyes. This human presence reinforces the garden's role as an accessible, living museum where art is not confined by walls but exists in dialogue with life. The narration highlights the history and philosophy behind MoMA's sculpture garden. Established in 1967, it was designed to bring modern art into an outdoor environment, breaking barriers between urban life and creativity. Each sculpture is positioned to respond to light, perspective, and human interaction, allowing viewers to experience multiple dimensions of the work as they move through the space. The segment concludes with a panoramic aerial shot of the garden at sunset. Golden light glows across the sculptures, shadows stretch elegantly across the grass, and the Manhattan skyline frames the scene. Narration reflects here, in the sculpture garden, art is no longer static. It breathes, moves, and lives alongside those who experience it. It is a reminder that creativity exists not only on canvas or pedestal, but within the environment we inhabit and the moments we share. The camera glides into MoMA's spaces dedicated to learning and interaction, where the museum's mission extends beyond observation into participation, curiosity, and discovery. These areas are alive with activity, bridging generations and encouraging visitors to connect with art in hands-on ways. Children gather around tables covered with art supplies, sketching their own interpretations of paintings they've just seen. The camera captures tiny hands brushing with watercolors, experimenting with shapes, and creating collages, their laughter blending harmoniously with the soft hum of the gallery. Nearby, families engage with digital installations. Interactive screens allow them to manipulate colors, explore animation, or virtually step into a famous artwork, blending education with playful discovery. Adults, too, are drawn into interactive experiences. Workshops invite visitors to experiment with materials, light, and sound. In one room, attendees manipulate projection-mapped canvases, creating shifting abstract patterns that respond to motion. In another, they explore VR recreations of modernist architecture, immersing themselves in the spatial genius of masters like Le Corbusier and Frank Lloyd Wright. The camera moves slowly among these participants, capturing moments of awe, concentration, and inspired experimentation. The narration highlights MoMA's educational philosophy. Learning is not passive. The museum encourages exploration, dialogue, and creative risk-taking, whether through workshops, guided tours, or interactive exhibits. Every visitor is invited to engage with art on their own terms, to question, interpret, and even create footage shifts to a quiet corner of the museum where a lecture or panel is in progress. Scholars, curators, and artists discuss the evolution of modern and contemporary art, while the audience listens, rapt. The camera pans across the attentive faces, reflecting the museum's role as a hub of intellectual engagement, fostering connections between ideas, people, and artistic expression. The soundscape alternates between the lively buzz of creative activity and moments of quiet reflection, mirroring the balance between play and contemplation that defines MoMA's educational approach. Close-ups of hands, drawing, touching, and interacting with art objects emphasize the tangible, personal connection that is central to the experience. The segment closes with a sweeping shot across the interactive spaces, visitors moving fluidly between galleries, workshops, and digital experiences. Narration reflects, MoMA is not just a museum to observe, it is a place to experience, learn, and participate in the ongoing dialogue of creativity. Here, every visitor becomes part of the story, shaping their own journey through art, imagination, and discovery. The camera pulls back to the bustling streets of Midtown Manhattan, situating MoMA within the vibrant pulse of the city. Cars weave through avenues, yellow cabs honk, and pedestrians move briskly along sidewalks. Yet amidst this energy, the museum stands as a calm, inviting cultural beacon. Its glass facade reflects both sunlight and the city's movement, symbolizing a dialogue between urban life and artistic expression. Footage shifts to visitors, arriving from all corners of the globe, tourists, students, artists, and New Yorkers alike. Each brings a unique perspective, creating a mosaic of engagement that mirrors the diversity of the city itself. Some pause to admire the facade, others snap photos, while many enter, drawn by the promise of discovery within. The camera captures subtle details, a sketchbook in hand, a child pointing excitedly at a banner, a quiet smile of anticipation. Human moments that give life to the museum's story. Narration emphasizes MoMA's role as a cultural hub, not just for New York, but for the world. Its exhibitions, public programs, and educational initiatives shape global conversations about art, design, and society. Footage of international collaborations, film screenings, and public installations highlights the museum's reach, showing how ideas cultivated within these walls resonate far beyond Manhattan. The camera explores MoMA-esque cafes and social spaces, where conversations flow as freely as ideas. Students discuss art history, tourists plan their next gallery stops, and local artists sketch or write, all contributing to a dynamic ecosystem of creativity. Subtle background sounds, the clink of coffee cups, soft chatter, footsteps create a sense of intimacy and community within the larger urban landscape. Drone footage rises above the museum, revealing its placement amid Midtown's skyline. Iconic buildings like the Rockefeller Center and the Chrysler Building frame the scene, emphasizing MoMA's dual role as both a city landmark and a cultural sanctuary. Narration reflects, MoMA thrives at the intersection of commerce, creativity, and community, embodying New York's identity as a global center of innovation and artistic expression. The segment closes with a slow-motion shot of visitors entering and exiting the museum as sunlight shifts across the facade. The narration concludes, here at MoMA, art is alive, integrated into the rhythm of the city, and continuously shaping the culture of New York, a living, breathing institution at the very heart of creativity. The camera slowly pulls back from the museum, capturing MoMA's facade bathed in the warm glow of sunset. Manhattan streets shimmer with evening lights, the city buzzing with energy as day transitions to night. The museum stands resolute, a timeless beacon of creativity amidst the urban motion, a symbol that art is both enduring and ever-evolving. Inside, the final galleries are shown in quiet reflection. Visitors linger over paintings, sculptures, and installations, absorbing every detail. Some sit thoughtfully on benches, sketching, journaling, or simply contemplating. Others wander slowly, letting the interplay of light, color, and form guide their movement. The camera captures these intimate moments, emphasizing the personal connection each visitor has with the art. Narration reflects on the essence of MoMA. It is more than a museum, it is a journey. Every visitor embarks on a path of discovery, encountering works that challenge perception, evoke emotion, and ignite imagination. From Van Gogh's expressive swirls to Kusama's infinite reflections, from minimalist design to experimental media, each piece invites exploration and introspection. The camera glides past corridors, staircases, and galleries, uniting the museum's diverse elements, modernist masterpieces, contemporary provocations, multimedia installations, and design marvels into a single, cohesive narrative. The soundscape blends softly, distant city hums, subtle orchestral music, and the gentle echo of footsteps, mirroring the quiet awe of a visitor's journey through MoMA. Outside, night fully descends on New York City. Streetlights flicker, taxis streak by in golden trails, and skyscrapers illuminate the skyline. MoMA's glass exterior glows warmly, reflecting the city and hinting at the creativity alive within. Narration emphasizes that while visitors leave its doors, the impact of MoMA follows them, inspiring thought, conversation, and creativity long after the visit ends. The final shot slowly ascends above the museum, revealing the vast cityscape of New York, its lights shimmering like stars. Narration concludes, art is a journey without end, an exploration of imagination, emotion, and human expression. MoMA is a gateway on that journey, a place where every visitor becomes part of a living story, connecting past, present, and future through the power of creativity. Fade out with the museum's facade illuminated against the night sky, leaving viewers with a sense of awe, inspiration, and the enduring magic of art.